guys, this is Heidi with Kiddos Corral, and it is just about Easter. It will be Easter in a couple days, and I wanted to share with you something that our family does every Easter. We started this tradition when the kids were little, and my husband reads from the Bible the life of Jesus and how he died on the cross and how he rose from the grave. And one thing that we do is we do a traditional communion as a family. So I make unleavened bread, and I've had a couple friends ask me to make a video on how I make this unleavened bread. Now, if you don't want to use this unleavened bread for communion, you can eat it. It is good, and I'm going to show you how to make it. It's very, very simple. If you don't have a KitchenAid mixer with a dough hook like I have, you can certainly make this, you know, by yourself, you know, by hand, using a mixing bowl and a spoon. So in this mixer, I have 2 cups of just regular unbleached flour, and then I'm going to add about a teaspoon of just regular kosher salt. And then I have a cup of water here, but I don't know that I'm going to need the entire thing of water. The first thing you want to do is you want to add about a half a cup of water to your, to your mixer. Let me see here. And go ahead and start kneading that with your dough hook. Now, this is going to be the most time-consuming thing, I believe, in making this. You have to make sure that the dough gets into a good elastic type consistency. So once I get this here mixed up into the consistency that I want, which I'll show you on camera what it looks like, then we will move on to the next step. So I just start out with my dough hook on low. And what's nice about this is pretty common ingredients. Most people have just regular flour and some salt and water on hand, so there's not much to it. I'm going to lock this. So if I see that the consistency of the dough is dry, which it's looking a little bit dry, I'm going to add just a little bit more water. Now remember, you can't mess this up, because whether if you feel like it's too wet, you can always add a little more flour. If it's too dry, you can always add a little more water. So this is really a win-win situation here. Now what I want this dough to do is I want it to start pulling any excess away from the sides of the bowl and form a dough shape in the middle. I'm just going to put just a little bit more water in there. It looks like it's doing really well. Now once this gets to a consistency that I want, I'll show you what it looks like. And it's just about there, I think. It's starting to form like a, a ball, but it's going to be a very sticky ball. So you're going to have to continuously add and utilize more flour. So make sure that you have that on hand. Now I'm going to just add just a little bit of flour to this. You want to make sure that the dough is manageable with your hands, because you are going to have to knead this for a little while to get the type of dough that you want. This is starting to look pretty good. I don't think I'm going to need any more water. Let's see if you can see this with the... I'm going to stop it and show you what the dough looks like at this point. You can see that it has attached itself completely to the dough hook, and that's what you want. And you also can see that it has pulled all the excess away from the sides of the bowl. And it is sticky, as you can see by me pulling it off. It's supposed to be that way, so if it seems really sticky and it's really sticking to you, put some flour on your hands, because you're going to end up with your hands in this anyways. Okay, so I'm going to move this aside, and let me see if you can see where I'm working. Make sure that you guys can see my workspace here. Okay, now I just put a good handful of flour down on my surface. Now I wish I had a dough scraper, because it certainly helps in getting the dough out of the bowl. And you can see it's pretty sticky, but it got majority of it completely out. So I'm going to put that in the sink. I'm going to sprinkle the top of this. And basically, you just want to fold this. You want to fold and fold. And this will make a good elastic type dough. I just keep folding it, and then I keep kind of pushing it with this part of my hand. Then you get a pretty good workout too, because this takes a good while. You want to make sure that it's not sticky anymore. It's basically the filling that you want to get with this dough. I don't know if you can see how I do this, but basically I just fold it in and push with my hand to stretch it out a little bit, and then work it back. More flour. Now you don't want to clean up this space when you get done kneading it to, you know, what the consistency that you want, because you're still going to need this floured area to do the next step. So I'm just going to keep working this until I get the nice airy consistency that I want, that's not tacky in any way. Now basically what I do is, at this point, because it's starting to feel pretty good, is I want to roll this out. I'm going to put a little more flour down because I don't want it to stick. It's still a little bit sticky, but it's not sticky to the... And I'll tell you, when you start pulling and stretching this, if it does not do what you want it to do, let it sit out for about 10 minutes and you won't have any problem getting it where you want it to be. I kind of make sure that my rope is kind of even all the way across. And I'm going to get a knife and I'm going to cut this just like I did with the pepperoni rolls that I made. I'm going to set these aside and make sure you guys can see really good. Now, I got this, I want to roll this into a nice ball. That's what I want. And then I'm going to smash it down with my hand, just like so. I'm going to get my rolling pin, and I want to work this out into hopefully just sort of like a tortilla. Try to get this stuff moved. There we go. Just like a small tortilla. You can actually use these as wraps if you like, once you make them. And this is sort of the thinness of a piece of nice quality, what do I want to say? Nice quality fabric is the way that the person that taught me how to make this described it. So it just feels like fabric. So I'm going to lay the ones that I make or get rolled out over here to the side. You want to keep your area floured, but you don't really need to pick up any more flour. You know, not necessarily, because it's actually pretty good at not sticking at this point. So once I get these all rolled out, I'll come back and I'll show you how I cook these up to make a beautiful unleavened flatbread. Okay, now I got all of them rolled out, and it takes a little bit of time to roll them out. As you can see here, got them all rolled out, and sometimes they're not perfectly round, and that is fine. All I have here is a skillet. There's nothing in it, there's no oil, there's no grease, nothing. All I want to do is lay this piece of bread in the bottom, and this, as it gets warm, will start to kind of bubble a little bit. When I see that it's starting to bubble, I'm going to flip it, almost as if, not quite like pancakes, but kind of like making a pancake. Now the first one always takes a little bit longer because of the fact that, you know, your pan has to warm up, and you certainly don't want to try to do this if your pan is, you know, scalding or too hot. And I'm going to get a plate to place these on whenever I get done cooking them. So I'm going to put that there. Let me see what you guys are looking at. Okay. It takes just a little bit of time, and I can feel the heat coming through it. These are really great to make with your kids, and if you don't use these for communion, these are good with Nutella on them and banana. You can roll them up and put egg salad in them. You can put, you know, chicken on them, make like a chicken wrap with them, whatever your heart desires. Personally, if I have a big side salad, I like to take my pizza cutter and just cut these, heat them up a little bit in the microwave, and have something, a light bread on the side to eat with my, see it's starting to brown just a little bit. It takes a little bit of time, especially like I said, the first one. These are good any way that you want to fix them. They're really good with egg salad on them. And the way I fix my egg salad, a lot of people think it's kind of strange, but when my kids was in, was in preschool, a lady that ran the preschool said, I'm gonna be going to lunch here soon. I got something really, really good. And I said, well, what do you got for lunch? She said, I have egg salad. And I asked her, you know, how do you fix your egg salad? What's so great about it? Because I thought egg salad was just pretty average. She sounded like it tastes pretty good. She said she puts a little bit of clavenders and some black olives in there. So now when I make my egg salad, I make it just like that. And believe me, it is yummy. Now, this is going to get really, really brown on both sides. It's going to take a little bit of time, and I'll come back and I'll show you exactly what it looks like once I get it all cooked up. I got my last one cooking up in the pan, and I just wanted to show you this up close. Can you see the bubbles that form on the crust of this? And you can see it's still really hot. Hopefully I don't steam up the camera trying to show you. But I wanted you to see an up close picture of this because I wanted you to see how this bubbles. You can see that it's completely bubbled up. It's really hot. I almost can't even hold it, but that is what it should look like when you cook it up. So I've got the last one cooking, and I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and please thumbs it up, share it. I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful Easter, and I'll be talking to you guys again soon. Bye-bye.